All right. To answer your question, what I want to do is pretty much uh, relinquish myself. And that way I'm leaving space for that divinity, that godliness to come in when something happens with me, an accident or emotional stuff or psychological or disease or illness or something, you know.
But you're
I
really doing well.
Thank you. Thank you. But I try to live that. And that's an answer to your question, pretty much. We don't have to have a lot of the worrisome with it. Uh, and if we do,
Mhm.
we're going to
Yeah,
screw ourselves, you
yeah.
know, and
Hmm.
take it on,
Hmm. Hmm. Yep.
whatever it should be.
Hmm.
And so, in any case, hey, Aria, good to see you. And thanks for being here. And
Hi.
hi, and Liz is here. And she's real busy doing stuff. That's okay. And um, and Ruth, welcome. Hopefully there'll be a couple more. Several people have once again said that, oh, I'll be there, you know, no problem. Thanks for invite and whatever.
I
And
just invited someone too, yeah.
oh, cool. Oh, that's fantastic. Thank you. Thank you. I get to see a lot of people, uh, you know, in appointments and also at the healing circles that I have, in-person ones and otherwise. And so I'm always trying to help people understand that it's so important to not be downed on something in life. And here, you know, I was asking God right before I started all this tonight, about maybe 15 minutes before I started. And I said, okay, what can I talk about? And and what came to me was heaven is here. Uh, in the good book, it says, on earth as it is in heaven, or uh, our Father which art in heaven. And heaven is here. When we're identifying with our Father which art
Hmm.
in heaven, then
Hmm.
we're seeing God in some place in heaven, but heaven is here. And heaven is everywhere. Basically, it's in the moment.
Yep.
It's in the moment that we recognize it, in the moment that we see someone smile, that and it makes us glad in some way or another. It affects us. We're witnessing heaven in that sense. And it's in the moment that we see a lovely flower and we're admiring it. Heaven is
Hmm.
here and we're experiencing it in that moment. So how ironic that I got that pertaining to now. I love that. Love that.
That's because you're in Arizona, right?
Yeah,
Heaven
it's
is here.
heaven is here.
Yeah.
Yes, exactly.
The birds are chirping and the sun shines and the sun sets and the sun rises. I mean, how can you beat it?
Yeah, and we're glad when, you know, we do get rain. And
Yeah,
so,
right.
and we feel a gladness for that. Uh,
Hmm.
and it rained twice since I've been here, so I love it. You know, two or
Hmm.
three times. And pretty soon the rainy season, being twice, two or three times, is going to be over. But at the same time, you know, heaven is here. Heaven is everywhere we are. And it's a misnomer to think that heaven is somewhere else.
Yep. Yep.
So I can't live my life like that, you know. And I have to remind myself as well at times. No one's perfect. No one's
But
perfect.
I do believe in the spirit world, and I think there's such a thin veil.
Oh, change the topic. Okay, yeah, sure.
Yeah.
Yeah. Uh, the spirit world is within the mind of the divinity, is the godliness, you know. But I don't want haphazard spirits coming into my life. I want something uh, of a nature where it's going to be beneficial to help develop my life. And that's what I accept, you know. When a spirit shows up, I say, okay, good. Are you for my benefit?
Mhm.
And then, you know, if not, I tell us to take a hike. And it goes. So we have that power. We have the power over the angels as well. They're here for us. Cool. Any questions or comments about anything I could try to answer? So far, there's few of us, so that's great. Anything, please. Any questions, Liz? Anything I can try to answer for you?
No, but the talk about spirits, only those who are here for like our greatest good resonates with me. That's how I'm part of a regular, very small mediumship circle. And
Uh-huh.
when we pray ourselves in, that's what we ask for. Spirits that are, teachers or connected to us, in a concrete way, and that are
Sure.
here for our greatest good and for the greatest
Exactly.
good of all. Yeah.
Yeah. Otherwise, we're inviting anything and everything, and it's not always creative.
Yeah, yeah,
So,
yeah. It's
you
not
know,
health. It's not good
as
for
long as
our bodies
you're in
either.
charge.
Yeah.
Sure, sure. It's not good for us emotionally, mentally, and physically. That's
Yeah.
correct. Cool. Anything, Aria? Anything you want to put in there? All righty. Does that make sense, Joanne? Anything?
It all makes sense.
All right.
I love the spirit world. Sometimes I think that angels are just an idea of God, but I still pray to Michael and Gabriel and Raphael and
Good.
Ariel and Uriel and Zadkiel and Shemiel. Oh, they're all over. They're all over right here.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
And they're here for us. We're in
Mm.
charge to the angels. They don't have a brain organ like we do. They have a function and a purpose, and they're here for us.
Mhm.
That's awesome.
It is
That's
because Michael's my messenger, and I send him off saying, I love God. Tell God.
That's awesome. Yes, yes, definitely. And
And
so,
Gabriel is my strength, and Raphael is my healer, and Uriel is my leading me on a path of light. And I love the angels.
cool.
Mm.
Yeah. And every one of those has legions behind them for various functions and purposes
Mhm.
within their realm. Yes.
Mhm.
All right, cool. Any other questions or comments we can try to get into? Anything anyone would like to ask me, please feel free. Yes, Aria.
I just thought of one. I don't know how to phrase it. Is there any way to that you would recommend to pray for wars to be over? All the wars?
People have free will, and they get to choose uh, where they're coming from. And
Mhm.
it's ingrained in people that they want to control or be controlled. It's ingrained. And we all live with our controls and being controlled and controlling. So, we can pray for people and or situations that, something will be made easy or someone will come into a greater understanding. But even that is a growth factor for them.
Okay.
Some people, negate something creative happening. They want to be destructive for themselves.
The way I
So
think
go ahead.
the way I think we can contribute to that is to say a morning prayer like peace to my mind, peace to my heart, peace to my whole being. And if we can be peace to the world, I think that helps.
Yeah, sure. It all starts at home. And, you know, for each person, and each person affects other people in their atmosphere as well. That means around them or near them. And we can even say prayers, as I was suggesting, for other people to find peace as well within themselves. And that also contributes eventually to a more creative, peaceful mind, I believe. And so we can affect things, and we do affect things. But there's also people that are insistent on control, and they negate anything other than that. So, yeah, I understand totally. Yeah, but it all starts at home, and it starts with one person, always. We're seeing right now a lot of change in the world, and the change in the world is, I think, in my perception, it's getting rid of the old for the new to come in. And you have to have all this junk coming up in order to find that peace, in order to find that evolution. Because otherwise it just maintains there. We're just trying to hide it. And when you're trying to hide something, that means you're resisting it. And it's going to keep coming up until we find peace in that, and other people find peace in that. Does that almost make sense, Aria?
Can you say that last sentence again? It kind of got crackety in my mind. Just the
What
last
was
one.
I don't even have any clue what I said. I'm sorry.
Okay.
But if you could tell me a part of it, I'll try to bring it up again.
No, I can't. I cannot.
Okay. All righty. And it gets down to finding peace within ourselves. That's what it gets down to. Otherwise, we're in control in some way or another, or we want to be controlled. And we even want to be controlled personally by controlling others. And we want the destructive dynamic from them to control us. So we throw out something to them, and they in turn control us by throwing something back, and it triggers something within us, if that makes sense. So we're always in the throes of control issues. And once we find a peace within ourselves, that not only affects us, but it affects others around us in our atmosphere, near and far. And the idea is to find peace within ourselves. Otherwise, there's resistance. Any questions about that? I can try to answer anything, anyone, please.
Well, I hate to switch gears, but I have a different question, but I did want to say to that regarding war, that my Lama said to pray that they have the skillful means not to kill, and to see other people as their mother, their brother, their
Sure, that's a lovely
like, to
prayer.
not kill because that person is your brother, your mother, your deity.
Sure.
Yeah. Well, okay. My question is well, that I have my body is extremely sensitive since, you know, I was sick, very, very sick for a couple of years. And I became very sensitive to things like anger and like dysfunction or people without boundaries or whatever. Like I absolutely, you know, all I can do is be in the silence, but you know, when I'm around it, but which is fine, but it also affects my my body when I'm around people who are not positive. Now, I don't
Sure.
want to like sound new age, but it's just, it's entirely too much for my body when people are,
Sure.
yeah, down. And I'm just wondering, is that like a kind of a part of the healing process, is that you are very sensitive, uh, as you purify, I guess.
Well, as we grow, we purify because we become simpler.
Mm.
And sure, there's uh, the sensitivities that we have, but we also, well, as we evolve and we grow, we become not hardened, but wise
Mm.
to other people. And we get to understand and see where people are coming from. The idea is not to take it on ourselves. The only reason we take it on ourselves is because we haven't learned the tools to in our evolution and our growing. We haven't necessarily learned the tools to observe objectively versus reacting, and our bodies react. And so, as we mature more into the spirituality, we find that these sensitivities kind of fall away, and we do observe more objectively, and we're not taking anything personal, because that's resistance when
Mm.
we take things personal. And there's one tool, it's a real simple exercise, and I've tried this myself and years ago, and it worked. And it's when someone came in front of me and was talking to me in a crude way. I would watch them in front of me, and I would watch their words drop as I became more and more objective in what they were saying versus taking it personal
Mm.
and being
Yeah.
sensitive. I would watch their words drop. Another tool, and that's a fun tool to use too. I've used it many a time, a long time ago. And there was one person that came in front of me, and they were just going crazy, and they couldn't control their thoughts, and they were nuts inside, going nuts inside. And I looked at them and I kind of smiled, and I said, "You're rippling my morphic fields." and and they didn't know what to say or do, but their whole atmosphere changed. And because everyone has fields of information coming forth from them. And so what they were doing is they were just spewing and spewing and spewing and saying things, and they couldn't control their thoughts. I was watching them do this, and I just said, "You're rippling my morphic fields." And they didn't know what to do. They stopped. And but it made them realize also that, of what they were doing in their life, and with not only me, but with other people as well.
Yeah,
And so,
it's an energetic thing. I think that's a great thing that's great. Yeah. Yeah,
yeah,
it's energetic. It's not the word so much as the energy for me.
yeah.
But yeah, so that's perfect. Thank you.
And another thing to keep in mind is that when people speak, they're speaking in pictures. People speak in pictures, or else it's not understandable. And when someone's just trying to grab those thoughts and bring them together and trying to relate to you, even though they can't communicate really well, it's going to be scattered thoughts. And so that's going to create the ripples in the morphic fields as well, because they don't form a picture that's comprehensible. They don't know how to express themselves. And so, people use it when they lack words, they'll put in a swear word, or something, and I just tell people, you're rippling my morphic fields, or I just watch them. I don't even do that use that anymore. I just observe people, and I listen to what they're saying. I wait for the pictures to form to understand what they're trying to communicate. And so, just some tools that I use.
Yeah,
in my
no,
work.
it's great. Those are great. Yeah, I plan to riff off of that. Thank you.
Sure, use them anytime. Just have fun with it. I do. And so, cool, good questions. Anything else from anyone else, please? Any questions or comments about anything I could try to answer? And it's keeping in mind that heaven is here. We're living in it, and it's up to us to recognize it, recognize. That's the important thing, recognition. See what's really happening, not what we think is happening. Because our thinking is what gets us in trouble. That's the resistance. Our analyzing, critiquing, thinking, judging, it's all resistance. And so that's where the peace comes in. Good questions. Good comments too. Thank you. Anything else before we start here? Anything? Aria? Anything? Joanne?
I do have something else. What do you recommend saying to someone who doesn't want to go to the doctor? I know
Well,
it's you're a weird person to ask this of, but
hey, if someone wants to go, doesn't want to go, um, and I've approached people on this as well. I've known that they're not going to fully be reciprocators of what I do, and so I won't go into that conversation with them. But I'll say, "Have you seen a doctor? Why not?" And I'll wait for an answer. I'll look at them in the eyes, and I wait for an answer. And you watch them squirm, or you'll watch them, come up with the truth. Oh, I'm afraid to, or something. You can't make anyone do anything, and I never tried to. Yeah,
okay.
at the same time, hey, when you're ready to go, let me know. It I don't know of anything else to do. You let them know that if they don't take care of the situation, it's going to lead into something else and something else and something else, and they're going to regret from not going before.
Okay. What I got out of that was look them in the eye and say, why not? And
Yeah,
wait. That's
yeah,
what I heard.
exactly. And
Yeah.
if you start talking while you're saying why not, then you're taking the power away of what you just did.
Right.
Good points. Good points.
Thank you.
I was at a function last night, and I heard someone say, I'm really afraid to die. And the other person said to them, well, death is just a rebirth to a new life. And I know I've heard that phrase before, but it felt so comforting to that person that I just wanted to share that.
Sure. That's
yeah.
lovely. Yeah, it is lovely. Yeah. And I'm always saying, okay, God, beam me up. And you can have all my belongings, whoever it is. I don't care. But I am going to have a 8.5 by 11 yellow sheet of paper that's lined. I'm going to take it with me. It's going to have all the things that I don't like here, and I want to know why they were. And I'm not leaving until I
Yeah.
get my answer.
Yeah. Yeah.
So, cool. Cool. All right. And in any case, all right. Please, if you feel within your heart, please do go to the website and give a gifting. There's a tab for that. but it has to be from your heart. I don't care what it is, or a penny or $10 million, whatever. And or send flowers or a piece of art. I love that too. But everything that is sent that's monetary, it goes to working with other people that can't afford. And also, there's a street person that I'm starting to work with here and give food to, or groceries, or excuse me, groceries or money or whatever's needed. And so in any case, all right, rocking and rolling here. I do have next Tuesday as well, the Healing Circle online, and in Arizona here in Scottsdale, I do have the Healing Circle that's live if people want to go to it, and it's on the website, the information for it. It's every Wednesday, and that's at 7 o'clock. And we're starting to get a group of people, which is really nice. And I do see people either on Zoom appointments or telephone appointments. And I also see people in person. And I don't know what else to say. We got a class coming up, a 2-hour class. And then the following week on a Thursday from it's Arizona time, 4:30 to 6:30. And I got a 4-day class starting on Monday to Thursday from 12 to 1:30. That's on the website as well. It's about changing your life with the wisdoms and understandings that we carry within us that are available to us that we're not even aware of, and or will be elaborated on within you for a greater understanding and application in your life. And there'll be exercises and stuff like that. So check out the website for that, markearlix.com. Other than that, any other final questions or comments, please, before we start? Anything? All right. Ruth, please.
Hi, Mark.
Hi.
Could you work with my hands? I did 2 hours yesterday and more than 2 hours today of weeding and digging up ivy at the church. It was growing up all out of the lower garden into the window wells and up the windows. It was taking over.
Wow.
And then, so my hands are just aching.
Sure, I'd love to work with your hands.
Thank
And
you.
just rest them on a tabletop there or desktop or your lap.
Thanks.
All right, my friend.
Thanks, Mark.
Blessings to you. Yeah. And everyone, please do keep me updated. And if you are interested in furthering these quickie appointments with a regular appointment, let me know. And we'll take it from there. We'll be congenial with our times and dates. All right. Joanne, please, anything in particular you'd like me to work with? Any one thing? There you go.
I want to work with my knee. My knee, because I truly do believe that I'm one with that healing power of God, and that spirit dwells in me, and I can quit. The leg feels so fatigued. It's been fighting this battle of not wanting to get surgery, and it's swollen, and I just want to work with my leg and knee and the right side.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. My left, your right. Okay. A couple things I want to mention is that I personally saw your knee uh, normalizing, and you're feeling good about it and seeing that it's normal, whether that be sooner or later, or sooner or growing into something. Now, oftentimes, the other thing I want to mention is that, and I found this out after working with 25 to 35,000 people over the many years. I've seen where uh, people will have a prayer for something to happen immediately, but maybe it's in the works of happening. And the answer is coming, but our patience isn't always there. And and I want it now. And so, and it's not always our way. Sometimes it is, sometimes it's not always. Maybe it's developing into that way. Maybe it's developing into a healthier, say, knee for this.
Mhm.
And it's finding its place to be that way. Does that make sense?
Yes. And I do believe that
I'm sorry.
I do believe that it is the whole body is a healthy body. My whole body's
Yes.
healthy. And I
Sure.
am healthy. And I really look beyond appearances and I claim my healing whenever.
Good.
Yeah.
Good. And that's awesome. Yes.
Thank you.
And yeah, that's great. Thank you so much. Yeah, it's
Yeah.
so good to see you here.
Oh,
Yeah.
thank you. You're welcome.
All right, great, great. Liz, anything in particular you'd like me to work with, hon?
Yeah, just my intestines, just my digestion.
Okay. And are you doing anything about that?
Um, yeah, I'm drinking a lot of water.
Good.
And you know, I go out when I can. I can't walk very far, but I go out, you know, when I can. And I'm not eating meat like I used to because it's just too much for me to digest. It hurts. So
Sure.
I'm listening to my body. Like if something hurts, I'm not doing it. I
Yeah,
don't consume it.
sure. But I'm not saying that you're getting this way, but I also know of many people in the past, um, they become obsessive compulsive with uh, first they cut out one thing in their life at their diet, then they cut out something else, then they cut out something else, and it keeps growing till they can hardly eat anything. And uh, you want to take it easy in not doing that.
Okay.
please, because as sensitive as you are, that's why I'm saying this.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
And
yeah, yeah. Yeah, it just you know, I was well, I'm really not sure what's going on right now. I'm not sure why I'm having problems and you know, like why it hasn't cleared up yet, but it was a really vicious bacteria that I had,
yeah,
you know. So yeah. So it might just take time for me to heal, you know what I mean? So
yeah,
I've only been cleared of it for like a year plus. So yeah.
sure. Yeah. And, but understand, as well, that the more we cut out, the less of the good bacteria that we're getting.
Okay. Huh. Interesting.
Yeah, I
Okay.
know. I know. So consider that also.
Okay. Okay. I will.
And yeah, so I hear you. I hear you. And so and control
Is my
sensitivity.
main guy talking in your ear? Uh,
All right. Yeah. Yeah. All right. So let me work with you and see if we can help some of the symptomology and stuff like that. The big thing that I got, definitely, of course, eat. And when you eat, um, put your hands over the food and say, okay, boss, okay, God, okay, source, whatever it is, make this food so good that it's going to nourish me and strengthen me.
okay.
And
Good.
watch, literally watch the hands of God coming out of your hands going into the food.
Okay. Okay.
See what that doesn't develop into.
That's cool. I
Yeah,
like that. Thank you.
sure. My honor, my pleasure. All righty. Aria, my dear friend, anything in particular?
I just want to say before we start, when you were healing Ruth's hands,
You're
right
cutting
when
off
you
a little
said,
bit, Aria.
okay,
Are you there?
I'm here. Yes, I'm here. Hello.
Okay, good. Yes.
Okay. All right. So when you were healing Ruth's hands, um, I had a knife accident last week. And right when you said okay to indicate that you were done, the scab fell off. Poof. It's a
It,
big deal for me. It was a bad cut. So
and what
I'm
happened with this? Excuse me, wait a second, Aria. You said when I was working with Ruth's hands, you froze for a minute. I'm sorry.
when I was working with Ruth's hands, when you were working with Ruth's hands, right when you said you were done, a scab fell off of my hands from a bad knife accident that I had recently.
Okay.
So I didn't think that scab was going to come off for a long time.
Okay.
Just saying, thank you for sharing, you know.
Sure.
I
That's
I
awesome.
didn't mean, I
That's
hope I
awesome.
didn't take anything away from
Uh,
Ruth, you know. Can you hear me, Mark?
yes.
Okay, good. Okay.
Yes.
So thank you. And so my location in my body is straight down from the belly button and 1 inch over and just above where the private parts start. So just above and 1 inch over from the belly button. And there's
Which way,
something
to the right or left of yours?
to my left.
Okay, my right then.
And something has been going on there on and off for a couple weeks. Right now I can feel something. I don't know.
Yeah, sometimes it feels bubbly in there.
Actually, it
There's
was a
shooting
shooting
pain.
pain. Mhm.
Yes, sometimes shooting pain, sometimes feeling bubbly in there. And
Okay.
it's, okay, so let me work with that, hon.
Thank you so much.
Did you feel that happen? Did you feel something happen?
Yes, I did.
Yeah, go ahead.
And I also felt something in my teeth, my jaw. Really strong in my teeth and jaw.
Okay, let's see what happens, transpires from this.
Thank you.
Sure, my total pleasure. Any other comments or questions or anything, please feel free about anything that we talked about or other topic or a question about what's been done. Please feel free. And please, remember, if it's within your heart, to go to the website and do the gifting tab. And if anyone's interested in an appointment, let me know. I have healing clinic, really short appointments on Thursday. They're 20-minute appointments and a lot less money. And also the regular appointments, 7 days a week as well. And I don't know what else to say. Please, anything, anyone, any questions?
Well, I
Joy?
think my takeaway is that I'm going to go out tomorrow as I do and say heaven is here and just enjoy everything, that warm sun on my bones and the the breeze in my face, which is God's breath, and the singing of the birds, which is God's voice to me. So I will just
Yes,
immerse myself in heaven is here.
yes, yes, and yes. God is here, and we are in that mind. We live with it,
Mhm.
and we've never lived without it. And it's up to us to awaken to that to varying degrees. Then we find even greater miracles in our life more often. And it's always growing, it's always changing. So are we. All right. Good points, everyone. Good questions, good comments, good everything. Thank you so much for being here. It was wonderful. All right. Thank you, everyone. Blessings to you. Have
Namaste.
fun. Please keep me updated if anything has happened or changed in your life. I'd love to hear about it.
Yeah.
All right. And see you next Tuesday.
Thank
Bye,
you.
everyone.
Thank you, everybody.